Hi folks, this is Mark Smith with Family Tree Counseling Associates. I'm gonna use my new iPhone 7 as a camera today, see if it does a little better than the iPad. I just got done working out. I'm a little bit sweaty. I've got poetry for you about darkness. The title of this video is Embrace Redemption in the Darkness of Narcissistic Abuse. Excuse me. I'm listening to a book by an author that's new to me, Kate Atkinson, and the book is A God in Ruins. She says, she quoted somebody, and I forget who, but the quote is, man is a God in ruins. Isn't that the truth? We are all in ruins. But Kate Atkinson has one of her characters have this quote, the purpose of art is to convey the truth of a thing, not to be the truth itself. The purpose of art is to convey the truth of a thing, not to be the truth itself. So I have four poems ranging from my favorite poet, David White, all the way to another one of my favorite poets from long ago, Emily Dickinson. And then two poets that I'm not as familiar with. But these poems, the metaphor of darkness equals aloneness, equals abandonment, equals narcissistic abuse. It equals your darkest hour. So the first poem is by David White. David White is, I believe he's British, and he's brilliant. And he travels all over the world, and he works with businesses, and but he has this just amazing poem called Sweet Darkness from his book of poetry, The House of Belonging. I think I used it in a video long ago, but probably few of you saw that. And it's all about the thing that we go through. The aloneness, the sadness, the you guys know what it is, the awfulness, the bigness, the brutalness, the cruelty. So David White, when your eyes are tired, the world is tired also. When your vision has gone, no part of the world can find you. Time to go into the dark, where the night has eyes to recognize its own. There, you can be sure that you are not beyond love. The dark will be your home tonight, and the night will give you a horizon farther than you can see. You must learn one thing. You must learn one thing. The world was made to be free in. Give up all the other worlds except the one to which you belong. Sometimes it takes darkness and the sweet confinement of your aloneness to learn. Anything or anyone that does not bring you alive is too small for you. I'm going to read that one again, and I'm going to commentate along the way. When your eyes are tired, the world is tired also. When your vision is gone, no part of the world can find you. So the poet is basically talking about cognitive dissonance, a lack of vision, a lack of insight, confusion, brain fog. And he's also talking about fatigue, the fatigue that goes with the brutality of complex PTSD. It's time to go into the dark, where the night has eyes to recognize its own. So the poet is there saying, the darkness isn't the darkness. The darkness is a place where you find light. The darkness is a place where you find healing. That's counterintuitive. We don't want to go into the dark. We don't want to go into pain. There, you can be sure that you are not beyond love. When we've been through narcissistic abuse, what do we feel? That's exactly what we feel. We feel that we're not good enough, that nobody loves us, that we were thrown away like a piece of garbage, and that we are not lovable. This morning, I got up and I did my meditation to the music from Dances with Wolves, the meditation about saying, I love myself as you breathe out, and then as you breathe in, just say whatever comes to mind. It's from the book Love Yourself as If Your Life Depended on It by Camille Ravikant. And what I found this morning was it was really easy to do. When I was hanging by a thread and barely surviving, I had a hard time finding things to say about why I love myself. I really did. But today I just feel solid. I feel strong. I do love myself. It was easy. So when you're in the dark, you feel like you are beyond being lovable. But when you get in recovery and you get some progress, you realize that you're quite lovable. The dark will be your home tonight. The night will give you a horizon farther than you can see. So just picture that. You're looking into the horizon and you have vision. You've had a paradigm shift. You understand what your life is about. Your life isn't about any narcissist or borderline or sociopath who you have recruited to wound you. Your life is about healing the wounds of your childhood so that you can move on in your life and self-actualize and become something bigger and better than you've ever been. That's a beautiful picture back there. I'll get out of the way. I'll just get off camera so you guys can look at the picture. I'm screwing at the picture. So it's in our pain that we grow and that we gain hope. The poet writes, you must learn one thing. You must learn one thing. The world was made to be free in. And for many of us, our whole lives have been bondage. Bondage to our parents, bondage to addiction, and then bondage to a narcissist of some sort. The notion that the world is made to be free in, it makes me think of that movie Shawshank Redemption, where the older gentleman was released and he just didn't know how to be on the outside world. He was bagging groceries and he just felt lost. He felt more comfortable in prison, and he ended up committing suicide. I forget the character's name. You guys know who I'm talking about. And for us, many times we've been in prison our whole lives, and the notion that the world is meant to be free in is a little startling. Give up all the other worlds except the one to which you belong. How do you know which world you belong to? Because what we do as wounded little kids who are looking to recreate mommy and daddy wounds is we build a life that really is somebody else's life. When I was with Betsy for 6.5 years, it wasn't a full, real life because I didn't have a committed partner. It was an oasis, an illusion. It wasn't real. I was living in her life and not in my life. And something just doesn't feel right. So as you individuate and as you self-actualize, you tailor design a life that actually fits who you are deep down in your belly. Can you imagine such a thing? But listen, folks, if you've been living in somebody else's life, they didn't make you do it. You signed up. If you'd have been loved deeply and thoroughly by both of your parents and adequately, you wouldn't have signed up for that. You signed up for it because you were used to being in a world, in a life where you weren't loved very well. That's why you signed up for that. Sometimes, the poet says, it takes darkness and the sweet confinement of your aloneness to learn anything or anyone that does not bring you alive is just too small for you. First of all, I understand that it takes darkness, but to call it the sweet confinement of my aloneness, I tell you what, folks, I don't know about you, but early on in my narcissistic abuse, I wouldn't refer to it as the sweet confinement of my aloneness. I would call it the torturous agony of hell of my aloneness. But his point is, you have to learn that people who don't deserve you don't deserve you. People who don't make you alive. Narcissists don't make anybody come alive. They may have your addiction come to life, maybe even your sexuality. But your real self, your real spirituality, a narcissist is incapable of touching that part of you. So what is too small for you? This applies not only to your narcissist. Is your job too small for you? Do you have bigger dreams? Do you have a calling? Are you living in the right place? Do your friends fit you and give you what you need? Anything that doesn't bring you alive is just too small for you. So this is about learning how to love yourself and to celebrate healthy entitlement within yourself. Okay, second poem is by a fellow named Kyle Potter, and it's called Dark, Dark Girl. Dark girl, so filled with strife. Dark, dark girl, she'll take your life. Dark girl, stay for a while. Dark, dark girl, she makes me smile. Dark girl, she shows no fear. Dark, dark girl is always near. Dark girl won't see her cry. Dark, dark girl, she just wants to die. But dark girl lives in the dark, so you won't see her painful mark. Dark, dark girl may never know just how much the light can show. I like that. So let me go through and commentate. Dark girl so filled with strife. I believe my brother here, Kyle, is talking about a borderline. And if anybody on the planet is filled with strife, it's a borderline. Angry women, angry men. You know, men could be borderlines as well. In this case, he's talking about a dark woman. Dark, dark girl, she'll take your life. And this stuff that we're talking about it really is life or death. If you don't protect your heart and be safe. This addiction to cluster B individuals, it can kill you. It can kill you fast or it can kill you slow, but it can kill you. Killing you fast would be, through homicide or suicide. Killing you slow is just the toll that complex PTSD takes on your nervous system, on your immune system. You might gain a bunch of weight. You might start to drink. You might use drugs. Playing with fire, you're going to get all burned up. Dark girl, stay for a while. Dark, dark girl, she makes me smile. I laughed at that first time through because I think I've been healed of it through, I've probably been involved with about 5 dark, dark girls throughout my last 10 years of my life. And yeah, I don't know if I'm the butterfly and they're the flame, or if I'm the flame and they're the butterfly. But yeah, they make me smile. They intrigue me. They used to intrigue me. I'm cured of dark, dark, crazy chicks who want to cut my gizzard out. Dark girl, she shows no fear. Dark, dark girl is always near. Betsy was always near. If I texted her, I'd get a text back within 30 seconds during the whole 6.5 years of our relationship. She wasn't there because she wasn't real, but she made herself available so that the illusion could be continued. Dark girl, you won't see her cry. Dark, dark girl, she just wants to die. And, some borderlines you maybe see a lot of tears, but a real hardcore narcissist, you'll never see them cry. They're so cut off from their heart that the wounded little kid in them is just so buried that you'll never really see it. And in people who are so tortured at their core, they do want to die. But dark girl lives in the dark, so you won't see her painful mark. With all 5 of these experiments in love, I really didn't know the human being behind the dark girl persona, chemistry, addiction, because they hide who they really are. You won't see the painful mark. Dark, dark girl may never know just how much the light can show. And what's sad is people like this, basically the author, the poet there, in my world, he's talking about recovery. He's talking about getting better. He's talking about being happy and getting healed. And what he's saying is, they'll never know what that is. And if you're watching this video, you're probably watching it because you can see the light. And you do have hope, and you do know what recovery is. So you're blessed. Soak in as much light as you possibly can. Okay, poem number 3 is by a gentleman named Edward Arlington Robinson. I saw a picture of him, and it looked like it was from the 1800s. I didn't look up when he was born and whatnot, but this is an old poem from a dead dude. So he writes, and it's called Another Dark Lady. He writes, and this is only the second stanza, the first stanza I left out. He writes, I cannot hate you, for I loved you then. The woods were golden then. There was a road through which beech trees sat, and I said their smooth feet showed, like yours. Truth must have heard me from afar, for I shall never have to learn again that yours are cloven as no beech trees are. Let me commentate. This is a wicked little poem. It starts out by saying, I cannot hate you, for I loved you then. And I resonated with that because with every one of these women I've been involved with, I don't hate any of them because I did love them as best that I could, given their false selves and my woundedness. So I have nothing but grace and love for them. The woods were golden then. I have many, many positive memories of Betsy, where there was connection and there seemed to be love, and there were a lot of positive memories. There was a road through beech trees, and I said their smooth feet showed like yours. We were walking through the forest, and we noticed the beech trees, and I said their smooth feet showed like yours. Truth must have heard me from afar, for I shall never have to learn again that yours are cloven as no beeches are. So he's saying she has cloven feet like the devil, that her feet are cloven, they're wickedly evil feet like the devil's feet. So he starts with, hey, I got nothing but love for you. I can't hate you, but by the way, I'll never have to be reminded you the devil. Poem number 4. Emily Dickinson is one of my favorite poets. This chick had some issues. She had a lot of darkness. She probably was borderline herself. But she writes a poem called We Grow Accustomed to the Dark. When light is put away, as when the neighbor holds the lamp to witness her goodbye, a moment we uncertain step for newness of the night. Then fit our vision to the dark and meet the road erect, and so of larger darknesses, those evenings of the brain, when not a moon disclose a sign or star come out within, the bravest grope a little, and sometimes they hit a tree directly on their forehead. But as they learn to see, either the darkness alters or something in the sight adjusts itself to midnight, and life steps almost straight. Let me commentate. Emily Dickinson was funny. She says, when we grow accustomed to the dark, we adjust our sight to see how to see in the darkness. And that's what recovery is from narcissistic abuse, is learning how to see who's dangerous and who's safe. Learning how to see the world as it is and not as it's tainted from the wounds of our childhood. When light is put away, as when the neighbor holds the lamp to witness her goodbye, there's a moment we uncertain step. So you're leaving the house, it's really dark, it's somebody else's house, you sort of put your foot out, you don't know if you're going to fall down the hill or if there's going to be something to put your foot on. That's what she's talking about. And that's our lostness, our darkness, our narcissistic abuse, our cognitive dissonance. We're blinded by the darkness and we're just sticking a foot out there in faith. Then fit our vision to the dark and meet the road erect. And so, now she switches. She says, okay, then you sort of collect yourself and you can see, your eyes adjust. But then she's talking about something else here. She's talking about the dark night of the soul. She's talking about spiraling and hopelessness. She says, and so of larger darknesses, those evenings of the brain, where Emily Dickinson was spiraling in hopelessness and suicidal thoughts and darkness. When there not a moon disclose a sign or a star come out within. There ain't no light coming from the outside. There ain't no light coming from the inside. There's no lamp, there's no moon, there's no star. The bravest grope a little. And that's us. We're the brave ones. We grope our way down the road just a little bit. And sometimes we hit a tree directly in the forehead. Any of y'all out there hit a tree directly on your forehead or get bonked on the nose? I certainly have. I was brave, but I still got bonked in the head with a tree on the forehead. But as they learn to see, either the darkness alters or something in the sight adjusts itself to midnight and life steps almost straight. So I've had opportunities at personal growth. That's what love is. If you had a mother like mine who was abandoning and deceitful and disconnected and a liar and a cheater and a rager, then eventually, probably about age 45, there was going to be a hankering, there was going to be an itch that needed scratched. And one of those dark ladies came along, and I was drawn like the moth to the flame. And the pain has told the truth about me. I thought I was pretty healthy and was going to be happily married the rest of my life to a lovely, good woman. But the truth about me was there was a ravenous, dark little creature inside me who needed to bunk his head in the darkness on the forehead and, get it all bloody and, fall in the darkness and in the cold. These women were sort of like can openers. They opened me up and they unwrapped that wounded, sad, needy little boy who was trapped. So folks, what I'm trying to tell you is what you've gone through is not necessarily a horrific thing. It was horrific, but it can be redeemed. You picked this individual for a reason. You picked them to help heal you. And it isn't about them. It's about your mama and your papa. Trust me. If you pick the devil, you grew up with a version of the devil. And they might have been subtle, but you didn't pick the devil just because the devil wanted a piece of you. You had some itches that needed scratched. So I just encourage you to turn the hellish darkness into the sweet confinement of your aloneness and cry sweet tears in the darkness, and then rise up and be brave. Be one of the bravest that grope a little and then find their bearings and then stride through the rest of your life as you put it back together, because your life will be pretty well slaughtered, in every area. But once you get strong, you can make it right and you can build your life on a firm foundation. I hope you've enjoyed the poetry today as much as I have. Thank you for watching. If you haven't joined our YouTube channel, please do that at Family Tree Counseling. Also, I have several really good books, one on shame, one on abandonment, and 3 videos more in depth and longer on Narcissistic Abuse Syndrome recovery. Thank you folks for watching today, and God bless.